Naidoo made history yesterday when the 27-year-old won a weather-affected Investec South African Open in Durban. It was his first win on the DP World Tour in his 30th start. He also jumps up 220 places in the official World Golf Rankings. He is the 19th South African winner of the National Open, but the first of colour. He joins us now from Johannesburg. Firstly, congratulations and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Has the victory finally sunk in?
It's starting to get there finally. It was such a whirlwind yesterday, and today I've just slowly given it a chance to sink in.
Yeah. While the final round at the Durban Country Club was abandoned due to rain, play was only possible on the 18th hole between yourself and Laurie Cantor, so you had to wait a whole day almost, all the way up until the afternoon, and then it was straight into a playoff. How did you deal with those nerves and that kind of pressure?
It was a long wait, I must say. It was difficult. We were just kind of camped out in the clubhouse, watching the rain come down, and the grounds crew did an amazing job to get us out in the 18th hole. Even it was just so much rain yesterday, and it was a little bit of a icing before the cake even came when I got the call. Got told that I'm into the British Open before the playoff happened, and that was really cool. But I kind of had to put that aside when it was time to play.
How do you manage that mental agility? It is obviously the other club in your case as a golfer and as a professional golfer to be able to handle such pressure situations, but to win your very first Open and your National Open. Did any of those thoughts at all cross your mind?
For sure, it's impossible for it not to. You know, it was a really difficult time sitting around and just having nothing but thoughts go through your head. You know, but it's important when it is time to perform, to do your job. You know, we're there to make good decisions on the golf course, and whatever happens. You know, but the first and foremost, you need to be ready to play, and I was happy enough with my process throughout the week.
What does it mean to you to be the first South African of colour to be able to win this National Open, which is the second oldest National Open in the world?
It means everything. You know, I grew up hearing from my parents tales of Papua Sugolum and what happened at the Natal Open at Durban Country Club. And, you know, it felt like a bit of a fairy tale story to have it happen at Durban Country Club too, for me. You know, I've always taken a lot of pride in being kind of a light for younger kids who look like me, you know, to be able to see someone like me succeed. It means a lot for the community. You saw it in Durban, how people turned up to come watch me. It was incredible.
You mentioned that you actually felt like Tiger Woods on the third round, or in the third round on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, there was 5 rows deep of people following me around, and if I was putting first and finished up, people would just walk to the next tee. It was a little bit, you know, in etiquette of golf, you're kind of supposed to wait for the other people, but it was crazy to see. It was a bit of a circus, but it was amazing, because in golf you play so many away games, you know, and to have a really true home game was so special.
You've also now qualified to take part in the Open Championship. You did get that call before you, as you explained, before you actually won the tournament. But tell us what that opportunity means to you.
Oh, it was almost as cool as winning our National Open. I mean, I wanted to play in major championships from the time I started picking up a golf club. You know, to be over there at Portrush later on in the year is going to be such an amazing opportunity. I'm very grateful that the SA Open has this pathway to the Open Championship.
Can you give us a little bit of your own golfing history and your journey from being a young boy that first picked up a club, being born in Johannesburg, going to Arkansas University, and then turning pro in 2019?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing journey. It's had its really high highs and its really low lows, and I'm very fortunate through it all that I've had amazing family and support. You know, I grew up in Joburg, and from when I was about 14 or 15, I decided that I want to play golf. You know, and at that stage, I definitely wasn't the best 14 or 15-year-old, and fortunately, I had a really good team around me and I progressively got better and better. I was quite patient with myself, and then all of a sudden it just kind of exploded. My game was in a really good space. I went to the University of Arkansas. It was a really, really strong college program at the time and still is. And yeah, after that came back home and turned pro. And playing on the Sunshine Tour has been a really, really good breeding ground for me to improve my golf, you know. And now with this opportunity that has presented itself in the SA Open, it's all guns blazing to the DP World Tour.
You mentioned that you see yourself as a guiding light to other young players of colour. Who did you look up to through your golfing journey?
I mean, the main guy is Tiger. It's always been Tiger for most of the guys of my generation. It was Tiger. But you have some really, really phenomenal players of color in South Africa who have come before me. Guys like Toto Tumba, James Kamte, Keenan Davidson is a phenomenal player. And just below me, following me is a couple of young guns like Yoav Premlal, Nikhil Rama, Aston Arthur. They're really, really good players, and it's exciting to see what they're going to do.
What is the next big goal for you after you've now achieved this? I know it's just sinking in, but where do you see yourself in the next kind of year, and what is that trophy cabinet looking like?
Yeah, I mean, trophies, it's difficult to say what you're going to win and what you're not going to win. Golf is such a fickle game. You know, you can play great and finish second or third. You know, like I did in Mauritius, I played really well and someone just put me to the title. But, you know, the reaching goal, the goal that would be unbelievable would be to get a PGA Tour card at the end of this European Tour season. There are 10 PGA Tour cards at the end of the DP World Tour season up for grabs. And if I can really play my socks off, I hope to be a part of that. But yeah, for the most part, it's getting myself accustomed, acclimatized to everything that the DP World Tour is about. You know, I've played in Europe and played in America before, but it's going to be on a whole new level this year. It's going to be really cool.
When you think about the best piece of advice that you got given as a young player who, admittedly, you weren't maybe the best 14 or 15-year-old, but you had this dream that you wanted to play golf professionally, what is that piece of advice that you also hand down to others?
I think the first thing is to build a great team around you. I think it's so difficult to do this game by yourself, just one man. You know, it takes a great caddy, it takes a great parent figure, it takes an amazing coach, it takes all these people who you have to surround yourself with and be open-minded enough to change if change is needed. And then secondly is just be patient too. I think I'm very guilty of it myself, you know, believing that I need to make 2 birdies in 1 hole almost, you know, just impossible things to achieve your goals when you don't have to. The tools that you have will serve you well enough.
Dylan Naidoo, the 2025 Investec South African Open champion. Thanks so much for chatting to us here on Newzroom Afrika, and congratulations once again.